Hello, it's Axel from Happiness Life Coaching. Do you consider yourself to be an extraordinary person? Well, if not, you might be interested in reading Brendon Burchard's book, High Performance Habits. And it discusses what are the habits that extraordinary people or high performance achievers have in common. And it talks about 6 habits. And I'm just going to mention what they are and give you just a little summary of each. And then I hope to do some videos where we can talk a little bit more in depth about how Brendon Burchard suggests implementing these habits to raise your performance. And so these are clarity, energy, necessity, productivity, influence, and courage. And so with the first one, clarity, it's about knowing with full clarity what your goal is, knowing exactly what your destination is, having a clear, charted map of what you want to achieve. And not just so much in terms of results specific to an activity you want to do, but what's the feeling you want to get? What is it you want to feel when you achieve that? When you have clarity, you're more likely to get to the next step. The second one is energy. And, sometimes people look at coaches as motivational speakers or people who can motivate others. Like Tony Robbins, I tend to steer away from that because honestly, half the time I'm not sort of that motivated before I start doing what I have to do. But energy is about raising your own energy. And there are certain things you can do, which we'll talk about in another video, to elevate your level of energy. And the third one is increasing necessity. And what that means is that you need to increase your need to achieve a certain outcome. Because when it becomes a need for you, that will help create the passion that identifies extraordinary people. Increase necessity. Then we need to also increase productivity. While it's not the only component, being a prolific producer of content in whatever area you're working in is important. And I love this one because sometimes I coach people that are highly perfectionist. Not high performance, but highly perfectionist. And in the desire to reach perfection, they fail to produce. Without realizing that if they just consistently produced, from those failings would come the experience to create higher quality work in less time. And the fifth one is influence. And this is the ability to influence the key people that are needed to make an outcome happen. And I love it because it's written from a place of integrity. How can we adequately and appropriately exercise a positive influence on others? And number 6 is courage. Courage to speak up, courage to stand a different ground. And so those are the 6 habits that Brendon Burchard talks about in his book. And in later videos, I'll be discussing each one in a little more depth.